what happens in the black community, our needs are different, and therefore some of our values are different. Some of our priorities are different. And in politics or anything else, I have to represent the needs of the people of Ward 8. When I was mayor, needs of the city, people of the city, all the people of the city. And I'm just sick and tired of some of the media people keep perpetuating the myth. You know, I fought too hard for racial equality. I went to jail for racial equality, not to want to do that. On the other hand, when things are against the most vulnerable people, I'm going to speak out. Speak out and speak up.
Here is Michael in Quantico, Virginia. Michael, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I wanted to ask the mayor or former mayor if he would ever consider running again for mayor. And while we're asking for apologies and telling people to stop things, instead of reinventing history, I'd like to just see if you would apologize, Mayor Barry, for basically being a racist, for basically using your power and position to gain personal favor and personal wealth, and basically apologize for those things. I'll take my answer off there. Thank you.
I got to tell you, Michael, I have never heard Marion Barry accused of possessing personal wealth before. So maybe that's something that you know about that we don't know about. I'll move on to...
That's such a ridiculous question. I'm not going to answer it. He's out of his mind.
Well, I can guarantee you, if Mayor Barry has personal wealth, neither I as a reporter nor the IRS has found it.
That's true. I'm dead broke now.
Here's Katrina in Washington, D.C. Katrina, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
I just heard Councilmember Barry say that he doesn't talk race, he's all about equity. But I thought a few minutes ago I heard him say something like, white people don't use social services, white people don't send their kids to public schools. And I'm wondering why he phrased it in racial terms instead of economic terms and class terms.
Here's Mayor Barry.
Well, how do you phrase it? It's a reality. See, what people get upset about, if I speak reality, if the reality is that the majority of white people in this city don't need job training program, those are facts. You know, we talking about this post-racial era. Race is still a factor in America, whether you like it or not. I didn't start it. I'm not going to be able to end it. I'm not perpetuating it. The only thing I'm saying, if I describe Ward 8 as 98% black, that's not talking race, that's talking reality. 98% of the people in Ward 8 are black people, African-American people. 90% of the white people in Ward 3 are non-black people. So get off of that. I'm not going to say that again.
Wait.
I'm going to say get over it.
No more commands.
No more commands. I urge you to not to see describing something as reality as racial.
Katrina, thank you very much for your call. We move on to Mose in Springfield, Virginia. Mose, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hello. Could you thank for bringing me on the air?
You're welcome.
I would like to thank Mayor Barry for the good work he has done for this city. As an ex-student of Howard University, I used to prep you for evening shows. I remember those days.
Yes, you did, Mose.
Yeah. And I remember the interview you made with Marion Barry. And I strongly believe that Vincent Gray will be the best man for this city. Racial disparities, that's going to be existing. It exists in the whole world. He will try his best. Like everyone else, Marion Barry tried his best to bridge it. Sharon Pratt Kelly tried her best. And even the present mayor tried. So it's something that we have to live with. It's going to go. It's going to continue. Even our president is feeling the same pain. So if we focus our attention on that, then we're not going to solve the problems of the city. So I do recommend over your media, Kujo, with all due respect, that our people, typical African people, should come out and vote for Vincent Gray. He's the best guy. I know him personally. We attended Howard together, and I know him. So please, come out.
No, you couldn't attend Howard with Vincent Gray because Vincent Gray went to George Washington University here in the District of Columbia, where he headed up a fraternity, integrated a predominantly white fraternity. It was a Jewish fraternity that would not let a well-known Jewish radio commentator joined that fraternity, even though Vincent Gray was the head of it. We won't mention the radio commentator's name.
But they made the right decision.
Here is Mike.
Anyway, let me.
Sure.
Here's the problem. I say you're absolutely right. You know, I've had over 40 years of public service, 50 years, and what the media tends to do, if we put it in chapter terms, 100 chapters of my life, long life, 74 years old, the media tends to, some members of the media, tends to focus on just 2 chapters. The 98 chapters are gone by the wayside. I think Tom experienced this when he was, at least I think he did, with Harry Jaffe. Harry Jaffe wanted to focus on...
My co-author of Dream City.
Yeah, which was an awful book that he
No,
wrote.
not awful.
That he
For
wrote.
which you need to apologize.
No, your part of it was right.
Oh, all the bad
His
stuff
was
Harry wrote.
Yeah, he did. You're absolutely right. He focused on the two chapters of 100 chapters, and media needs to stop that. Some media members want me out of office. They express them personal stuff. They shouldn't take it into the media. We fought too hard for freedom of the press, but we fought for the press to be responsible and to be as accurate as they possibly can be as they depict
But,
one's
Mr.
life.
Barry, here's what you seem not to want to understand. Your 46 years of
I
public
understand
service, your 16 years in office means that every time you appear with a candidate like Vincent Gray, you are going to attract more attention than that candidate.
Well, I tell you
That's
what,
simply true.
I tell you what, and I think the great people will tell you, I attract 5 to 10 times more people positively to a candidate
But
than,
not in...
than 1 or 2% negative.
Well, no, well...
Agent
more than one-
Finch had 57% of the white vote when he ran. 57%.
I know. Well,
So now
you didn't help... Fenty lost because he stopped speaking to people about 3 years ago.
That's
He just
not
was
why, no.
autocratic. Now, but you are a controversial figure. You just are. Your arrest in the Vista Hotel, all of that, the financial. It's just part of, as you say, it's part of the chapters.
That's right.
It's more than 2 chapters.
And the ultimate book about Marion Barry, the ultimate story of Marion Barry, will not be written while you are still in office. It's probably not going to be written. All of your accomplishments together over those 46 years are not going to be written while you are on the scene, still being an active
and the good
political
things don't
player.
excuse the bad.
And hopefully Sherwood won't be the one writing it. Here's Mike in Frederick, Maryland. Mike, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Thanks, Kojo. This is a really interesting show. I had a couple of things to say. First of all, I would like to take up for you, Kojo, about making a clear distinction between the public good that one can do in office and personal failings. I took a trip to Jamaica a couple years ago, and my cousins there, when I told them, I said I lived in Washington, they only thing they knew, the first thing they said was, "Oh, didn't your mayor get arrested for?" I say, that's true. It happened, but he has helped a lot of other people too. And so I don't think that you can say clearly that you're completely innocent because you've helped people, nor can you say that you're completely disgraced because you have a personal failing. But I think it's important to recognize that both of those things are true.
Where did he come from? This is the most common sense person that's ever called into the show.
Thank you so much for that.
How did he get on the air?
But make it clear, I'm not defending any personal misgivings or personal actions of mine.
Misdeeds.
Misdeeds, the way I was guilty of. But I'm not going to defend, I'm not going to let go the fact that a lot of those things were because the federal government, for a lot of different reasons, were the ones who did the attacking. But I was absorbed in that situation.
Well, you're not saying they were the instigators.
I don't know. Here's the problem.
You're the one who used to follow the mayor all the way down to the Virgin Islands to spy on him.
I had some great trips on
That's
the
right.
Washington Post dime. Thank you very much,
That's
Mr.
right.
Mayor.
And I made you
I appreciate it.
headlines, too. I read, Tom admit this. I don't mind the controversy. I just like for people to be fair, that's all.
And I try to be.
Yeah. Only thing I want is fairness. God gave me a lot of gifts, and I've used them
Most of the time.
Mostly effectively for people. And I'm not a perfect person at all. And, we make mistakes both personally and governmentally, and you learn from those things.
Here is Mark in Washington, D.C. Mark, we're running out of time. Please make your comment or question brief.
Anyway, I met you down there at on MLK Avenue at the UPO Center on Southeast. And do you remember that OP Tribe Unity Fest? That was like in the 90s or something like that. And so, and I even remember from when I was small, like from Pride Incorporated at 16th and whatever. And
16th and U.
16th and U.
I
right.
took a 10-course photography course in what was then called the Pride AU program. I took that photography course here at American University.
I thought he was going to get to his question really quickly.
Well, I'm afraid we don't have time for Mark's question because we've run out of time in this segment.
But, Cornwall, can I just say this? I would
Yes.
urge people to stop thinking that Vincent Gray does not think for himself. That's the implication you're saying. That he doesn't think he got to rely on Marion, Barry, and some other people. Vince Gray is the most thoughtful person, the most hard-working person. You see him in office at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Are you going to criticize him when he disappoints you?
Of course.
Because you know he's going to. I'll bet by spring, if not by February.
That's democracy. If we want an autocratic kind of government, then you ought to go elect one. Get rid of democracy.
We did, Mayor 15.
Yeah. Democracy demands disagreements without being disagreeable.
I want to wait until you get mad at
my
him
constituent
first.
needs, in a lot of instances, are at odds with the needs of some other people in the city. I have a major responsibility legally and morally to stand up for my constituents. And if they go against somebody else's needs, I'm going to go against them because my constituents come first. I love
Marion
the people
Barry
there,
is the
and the
ward-
people love me too.
Marion Barry is the Ward 8 representative on the D.C. City Council. He's a Democrat and the former mayor of the District of Columbia. Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for joining
Thank you.
us.
Where's my apology?
Your apology will come privately. I think.
You chicken, huh? You don't have the guts.
here,
I
let
don't
me.
think I have
So,
any-
you don't have the
so in
guts.
public, he writes in the paper with a million copies,
Yes,
but
right.
he wants to quiet tell you on the side.
He's chicken.
If you did that, I'd call you on it. I
That's
just
right.
called Kojo
I
on it.
just call him on that.
I know where to run.
I tell you what, if you don't want to apologize, don't apologize. The people will never forgive you.
Well, the people will forgive me at some point, but I don't think that I did anything for which I need to apologize. And when the book on you is written, you will find that the Barry Revolution will be a significant part of it, and I'll have a great deal to say about that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining
All
us.
right.
I don't know, like this denigration of my book. I don't think another book needs to be written.
No, that book you wrote, no, forget about that.